Good-looking group you got there.
Yeah.
Well, I am Mark Hawks, and I'm grateful to be a part of your seminar series. And I'm here with Nicole, and she is a technician on our campus for room-based video operations. I got to know Mike when we did a project up here evaluating the Star Schools grant funding that was awarded to South Dakota. And it was a great opportunity because we made connections in lots of other ways. And I'm grateful to be affiliated, even if in just this small way, with Nova Southeastern. I've had friends graduate from there. And of course, you talked to Tammy Bach, right?
Yes.
And she just completed the program, and she's doing wonderful things here in our state, a state that has a really diverse and unique population, almost as diverse as Florida's. Mike asked me to talk a little bit about the faculty's perspective and role in developing online courses. And what I hope to do for the next 30 minutes or so is talk about that, what it means, and then maybe engage it in just a little bit of dialogue. So when we have faculty, and let me tell you just a little bit. I worked in Chicago up until about 4 years ago, and I worked at a federal research lab called NCREL, the North Central Regional Educational Laboratory. Now there are 10 RELs in the U.S. Some of you might be affiliated with them. The one that serves the Southeast region is in Georgia, not far south of Atlanta, I believe. But I worked at this regional educational laboratory, lots of research to do with technology integration in schools and how it did. And that was the decade before this one, and when that got off the ground, and it was very interesting. And found an opportunity to come to a university that had a really narrow focus because it was struggling to find its niche. And they found it in this information technologies, information systems domain. And they decided they wanted to get seriously into the online graduate education field, and that's when I came on 4 or 5 years ago to do that. So that's how old our program is in educational technology. And I would say it's probably an intersect of the program you guys are in. We only offer a master's degree, and it's targeted, though. Its primary focus is educators. And so we have lots of similar coursework that you'll do in instructional design, multimedia, things like that. And so when we thought about how would we get faculty aboard on this project, there were lots of questions on their part. What would it do to the promotion and tenure tracks? How do they face those problems? How does it count against? How does it work against them? Because if they put a whole lot of time and investment into that online course, what are they going to get out of it that will keep them along this train of progression in the higher education? And as you know, tenure is about everything. If you can reach that tenure level, then you automatically have some freedom and some opportunities that otherwise aren't afforded to you. Teaching load. Is the load counted or not? A faculty asks. The pay. Am I paid is that part of my contract, or am I paid overload? Is it, if it's a summer course and I'm only on a 9-month contract, is it extra? How does that work? How does that look? What personal capacity do I have? Is there technical expertise as well as disciplinary expertise that I have? What process knowledge as far as using an advanced technology is required? And so these questions are by no means new, but they go through every faculty's mind when they're asked to consider an online course. But I would say that the most intensive one is how does it affect my teaching and instruction? And there's been a notion among teachers that they could pretty easily transition, especially online faculty in higher ed, transition their course from a classroom environment to an online environment without much more work. And I'm not sure that's good thinking. Hey, does anybody there play golf? Who plays golf? Okay, we got a hand on my screen left. a young-looking gentleman there wearing glasses, scratching his nose. You raised your hand. Sitting 2 rows back from me. I need a golf player to stand up and step forward. Who's a golfer?
Yeah. Richard.
Oh, all right, fine.
Raise your hand.
That's a young guy, right?
Okay. What's your name?
Richard.
Thank you, Richard. Okay, you're a golfer, and I'm a novice golfer here, and I've got my 7-iron.
We may want to go with another student here. I failed at this yesterday.
No, Richard, you're great. You're great. You'll be great. Okay, Richard, under what circumstances would I use my 7-iron?
Fairway probably mid 130-yard drive. Maybe.
Okay, all right, good. Sounds good. Now, I am a novice, and I want you to walk me through the steps of a good golf swing.
Okay. Well, you're going to want to grip the club with both hands. Yeah. Okay.
How's that?
You're good. Good start so far. No, you were better off. There you go. And slide your right hand down toward your left hand. Okay, we're going to take this a little slower. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. And if you put your 2 hands, just snug them together right where they are. Just slide them right together. That's a good start. I think you're in good shape. I can't exactly see the club head from this end, but let's just go ahead and put it down on the ground. Just set the head of the club on the ground and stand with your feet shoulder wide apart. You've done this before. Very good. And now we're going to want to watch our swing because obviously in the tech lab this is not an appropriate endeavor.
You are right.
But depending on your insurance, you might take a full backswing, bringing the club up over your right shoulder and watching the screen and all the other electronics behind you. Perfect. Keeping your left. Oh, I forgot to tell you something. Yeah, you want to keep your left elbow locked, left elbow stiff. Yeah, you're looking a lot better. That's a ticket. And then again, watching all the equipment.
Okay.
We're going to swing an arc with the club so that it strikes the imaginary virtual ball between your toes. I think you may now understand.
Hey, I just got one thing to say, is that you guys have spent way too much time together in one room.
Thank you for being an understanding student. Well, let's just pretend that the ball on the tee is on a triangle between your 2 toes out there in front of you. If you drew a triangle, then we're going to strike that ball with the yeah, exactly. And I'm very concerned about all the electronic equipment, but make an arc with the club and all the way through that ball, bring the club up over your left shoulder. Carefully. Oh, excellent.
How was that?
And the real golfers in the crowd salute you.
Yes.
I'd say you did very well, except just
Okay. All right.
don't let go with that right hand, and you're in good shape.
Looks like Fred Cup.
Oh, okay. Okay, I need a softball player now. Who's a softball player?
Richard.
Richard again.
Yeah, well, we're going to get a volunteer.
Softball player?
Get in the finger.
How about a girl softball player?
Yeah, really.
Softball player?
Come on, Donna.
talking both ways.
Okay, good. Who we got?
I'm Donna. Hi.
Hi, Donna. Okay. Softball player?
Yes. X.
Okay, so I just learned the golf swing. So help me take what I've learned from the golf swing and teach me how to do a softball swing. I'm up to bat.
Okay. Hold the bat the same way you did the golf club with your hands together at the base. There you go. And rotate your arms back towards your right, putting the bat behind your right ear. And the difference is going to be that you're going to swing in a horizontal. That's all right. Hold. Don't use it for a back scratcher.
I'm doing fine.
You're doing great. Hold the bat up straight, vertically. There you go. Drop your right elbow a little bit. Your right elbow.
Okay. All right.
Hang on to the bat. There you go. Right there. Yeah, there you go. Now, when you swing, unlike the golf swing, you're going to keep the bat in a horizontal plane, even with your shoulders. And as you swing, you're going to step forward with your left foot slightly. All right? So pretend.
Okay, so where are my feet now?
Your feet should be about shoulder width apart in a relaxed stance, just like the golf swing.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to have to pretend a little bit more because the ball in front of you is not stationary. It's moving. You have directions?
This must be a real sport.
Out. Frame by frame.
Which one?
Don't need no stinking directions. All right. Thank you, George. So the difference is going to be that the ball is going to be moving towards you instead of stationary. So the ball is going to be coming from the pitcher who's standing about 60 feet in front of you. So you're going to keep your eye on the ball. Pretend that you've got a ball coming towards you, and as the ball approaches, you're going to want to step forward just a few inches with your left foot and transfer your weight.
Okay.
Okay, transfer your weight from your right leg to your left and swing in your horizontal plane at the same time. Yeah, kind of like that. There you go.
Yeah. So Donna, do you play golf too?
I have, yeah.
So have you ever used your softball swing in your golf game?
Only when I get really upset. Yeah.
Well, what happens then?
Doesn't work so well. Yeah.
How about, have you used your golf swing in a softball game?
No.
No? I've been unfortunate, not playing both very good. I've been unfortunate to have used my golf swing in a softball game. And you know where the ball goes? You can imagine.
Straight up in the air.
Yeah, it goes straight up in the air. Straight up in the air. And not being very good at both, I already struggled and had trouble doing that. But that brings some interesting parallels. A big thank you to Donna and Richard. Thank you. You guys are good sports. Thanks. What I want to illustrate is that there are many, many skills transferable from the golf swing to the softball swing, such as stance, grip. Give me more.
Eye on the ball.
Concentration. Swing.
Right.
Follow through.
Right. Good. Change of weight. Bent knees, almost the turn of the torso. All of those things are much the same, but in their different contexts, the golf swing in a baseball game brings less than desired consequences, and the baseball swing in a golf game brings disaster. And they just do not have, as transferable as those motor skills are from one environment to the next, They do not yield the specific outcomes that you need in each game. And the same is true with traditional teaching and online teaching. And we found out that professors have felt that they could, and maybe some of you teach online courses or have been part of a course that's been this way, could stay a week ahead in the curriculum in an online course because they, when faced with a new course, could stay a week ahead of the curriculum in a traditional face-to-face classroom in American history since the Civil War, or whatever course it is that they're teaching. And history courses are a great type of course for an online environment. But that does not work, and the nature of the assignments. And so I think the toughest change that faculty have had to face, in my environment especially, is transitioning to the online environment. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to share some ideas with you, some observations I've made in the context of our own graduate program here. And we've gathered students mostly from the upper Midwest. Upper Midwesterners here, raise your hand. Anybody from the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, all right, good, Nebraska. Most of our students come from that area. And I'm not from the Midwest. It's a wonderful place to live. I'm so happy to be here. But we're dispersed, and there are times we'll never meet together. We do have a 2-week intensive summer experience where our students come on for 2 courses. Most models of coursework are like that for higher education, especially graduate work. But our students primarily work in the web environment. And we use lots of delivery methods. And like I said, it's K-12 educators, higher educators, maybe in community colleges, technical schools that we service. They maybe work in design and development centers for education. And so that's generally who we are. Now, the problems that are faced when our faculty attempt to deliver an online course are pretty familiar. And if you've done this yourself, or if you've been part of an experience of that, this is what it looks like. And this is not news. This is pretty common. So I think that we fit the profile of problems encountered for general online educator. And when we think about transitioning from the traditional to the online environment, we take some general skills. The fact that we're subject matter experts, and there's an element of instructional design involved, and motivating and assessing the students. And all of those are part of the online environment, including the web development, discourse moderator, technologist, support agent, formative evaluator, and general faculty are not equipped to do this. Now, they definitely have the capability, but it takes some specialized training. And the notion is that it requires a more eclectic educator to teach online, and our folks have not been that way. It's been tough for them to transition, and we find that it's usually about a 2-year time before they get their student opinion survey markings up to where they are for their traditional courses. That means that they're responsive in a way that they satisfy the learners. Now, throw into the fact that they're working mostly with adult learners who are by and large expect high quality experiences from their online courses, and who also, because they're educators or professionals, have very high standards for good interaction, makes the bars, the standard, all the more tougher to reach. But what we've tried to focus here on is client-centered instruction, instructional design. And here's how we've done it. We've tried to tie a lot of our activities, and because our states in the upper Midwest share a lot of the same kind of disciplinary and content standards,